the consciousness of humanity, and we are so blessed today that we have Paola Harris with us. Thank you for being here with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's really nice seeing you again.
Absolutely, thank you so much. Likewise. So, for those that still don't know Paola, so she is basically an investigative journalist, and she focuses on, things like UFOs, and
the paranormal, international kinds of events that happen all over the world in this field.
And in this field, that's probably something she's not going to say, but in this field, she's one of the most respected journalists worldwide, period.
Well, thank you. The thing that I'm happy is that I'm a woman doing this work, because I'm in a field that has so many men in it. So they are beginning to realize that we women can also do very, very well in questioning and gathering information, and mostly in media work.
As an investigative journalist, what would you say was that thing that made you be attracted by this specific field that you work on?
It's a very unusual field, but I saw the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind when I was in my 30s. I think it was in 1979, and I went to visit Dr. J. Allen Hynek in Evanston, Illinois. He was Project Blue Book. The Project Blue Book is on the History Channel now. And when I went to see him in Illinois, what happened was that he knew I spoke many languages and had me translate UFO sightings. But because he was an astronomer at Northwestern, what happened was that I knew from the beginning that it was real. It was a real phenomenon. He's a scientist, he worked for the government, he worked for Blue Book, and at that time I just was doing the translation. Since he died in 1986, he died of a brain tumor. I then moved to Italy for 15 years, and I worked in Europe. And when I worked in Europe, I began to see what was going on in Europe, which is quite different from what's going on in the United States. I mean, a European conference like we are now, would have professors, geologists. I mean, in Spain, they have professors, geologists, scientists, so forth, and they take it more seriously. They take it as a university class or a university studies. So I spent 15 years like that, and then I moved back to the United States.
And what was the difference? What did you find in here?
Oh, yes, it's very much entertainment. I call it the UFO Disneyland.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's entertainment value. And entertainment's okay, except nobody reads anything. Nobody studies anything. So everybody that's learning anything is learning it from internet, or they're learning it in isolation by itself. And since I've been working in this for 40 years, I'm able to connect the dots. I know when things happen, it's usually around nuclear power plants, the atomic bomb, some crisis on Earth, because whatever is visiting this planet is not on vacation.
That's a nice statement. I never thought of it.
They're not on vacation. If they were going on vacation, they'd go to the Bahamas. I mean, they end up, some of the film footage that Jaime Maussan has is in Syria. He has 5 different videos from Syria.
Right.
Some of them from the Ukraine, some of them from places, hotspots in the world. So the only conclusion you can come to if you do the work is they're interested in humanity and the conflicts we have.
And why would you say they're interested in conflicts?
To see if we survive.
Really?
We have enough nuclear, bombs and enough nuclear capacity to destroy ourselves 10 times over. We have not spiritually evolved with our technology. There's no spirituality. We have technology without any kind of filter. So they're watching to see, are these kids, are these people gonna make it? Or are they gonna destroy themselves? And I think the secret is that they would like us to grow spiritually with our technology. In other words, be responsible.
Are they communicating themselves with us?
Yes, yes.
They are.
Oh, yeah. And not with, I mean, not necessarily with me, but with a lot of the people. I just came back from Peru with Ricardo Gonzalez. We did a film in Peru. So what happened was we went to the townspeople in Ancash near Huascaran, and we asked the townspeople, do you have sightings? And they said yes. And we've asked the townspeople, did you see beings? And they said yes, we saw spacemen. And they talked to our children in the fields. So if you go to Peru, if you go to, I was also in Chile, the townspeople, the campesitos, are having communication with these beings who don't want to go to New York City. Okay, they want to go to the common people. So as a journalist, after so many years, that's the only thing that interests me. I want to talk to the people. I want their testimony. They have nothing to lose. They don't want to go to a conference. They don't want money. They're just in the fields. You know, they're wholesome, wonderful families. So Latin America, for me, thanks to Ricardo Gonzalez, is where I've learned the most.
Are they also telling us like clues or directions on what to do in order to fix those conflicts? Are they doing that?
The problem that they've talked about lately is ecology. That we are going to have a problem with water, with imbalance in our climate. And that's real. That's real. And they're saying pay attention, because these things are going to affect future generations. So if they're saying pay attention, if they're saying that, then you know you're going to have to pay attention to the messages that we're getting. They're not the only ones, though. I mean, it's obvious. We have a series of economic problems, ecological problems, relationship problems, in dialogue, you know, political problems, refugee problems. I mean, the earth is upside down.
And you were saying that they like to communicate with normal people.
Yes.
Right?
Normal, everyday people.
Exactly, everyday people.
Yeah.
So are they expecting that these everyday people eventually take those messages to the world?
No, the everyday people have a spirituality. They meditate, they pray, they go to church, they have a spirituality that these beings say, look, you know, if you guys get together and just, in other words, what happens is they get together, they meditate, and if a whole group of them does it, what they do is attract attention from the cosmos. And those beings up there know that we need help. But if they don't do anything, they just keep every day, and we're not asking for any help, they're not going to help.
Paola, listening to you and everything that you're saying, what keeps you moving?
This. The idea that there's contact. It's not always abduction. Get off of that. It's contact, and somebody cares about us. Somebody, don't ask me who. So it's my job to travel. I do an awful lot of traveling. I travel a lot. I've been to, this year, the Atacama Desert. I've been to Chile, Santiago. I've been to Peru. I've been to Italy. I've been to, my goodness, I'm going to Paris. I've been all over the United States. I've been to Colombia. I've been to Argentina. And what I do, and by the way, in places like Argentina, you see the UFOs in the sky during the day. I mean, I have so many pictures, they just fly over. Those people don't, anymore they don't even care. They look and they go, oh, yeah, there's a craft in the sky in broad daylight.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that the case? What does Argentina have something special?
Yeah, I think, well, this was a big, huge peace meditation that Ricardo did with 1,000 people where the craft were over the people. I think that causes attention. We have 1,000 people that are meditating for peace, and he's very devoted to Nicholas Roerich and the peace flag, the white flag with the three red dots. That was the first peace flag for the United Nations or the League of Nations. When all those people get together, it causes something going on up there, and they're going to say, okay, we're going to fly over, and we're going to show you we're around. And it's kind of a satisfaction. Now, we can't do that here. I don't know where you're going to do that, in the middle of LA, with all the planes and all the confusion. You can only do it in very isolated areas. So it's connected with spirituality, not religion, with spirituality and intention. I don't want things to stay the way they are, and I don't think you do either for your children and grandchildren.
You bet.
And so what happens is if you want an intervention, we're in that spot right now. We need some kind of, that doesn't mean they do it for us, that just means they get our attention. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They get our attention and then we do something.
Have you ever talked to people that have had direct contact with beings that might...
Latin America, yes.
Okay.
My God, they just talk about it like it's nothing. Yes, the spaceman came into my children. I was in a B&B. And the lady was an older lady and an old man, and they were making us sandwiches. And I walked over and I said, did you ever see anybody from that mountain Huascaran? She said, that's a base. I said, I know that's a base. I can feel it. And she said, well, she said about 10 years ago, 2 space people walked into the bedroom of my children. She wasn't lying. I said, what did they do? And she said, my children weren't afraid. They communicated with these people. So your children know that there's people. And she said, yeah, we all do. We all do. They don't have to make any big deal out of it. They don't have to wear costumes. They don't need to, become famous. The mother just looked at me and said, we know there's these people. So I thought, oh my God, is that ever normal? I want more of that testimony because it makes me feel better since the United States is too commercially oriented. Me as a journalist, because I'm doing the investigation.
With so many investigations and traveling, what's the best way to follow your work, Paola?
I have a website that has 5 different languages, Italian, Spanish, German, French. It's paolaharris.com. And all my interviews are on that website. And I have the Italian website also, because the people in Italy know me. I'm Italian, I was born there. So all I can tell your general public, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can to give you the most objective news that I can give you. But I love Latin America. I love the people there.
Awesome. Well, so thank you very much for sharing so much, Paola, as usual.
Thank you.
And we'll make sure that when we post to all our media outlets, actually this is being broadcasted live right now, so it's immediately available to everybody. They're watching us live. That everybody knows where to go to find your work. So it was a pleasure to be with you this evening. Thank you very much, Paola. And for everybody watching us, I'm sure that you have enjoyed this conversation as much as we have here. The team of Expansion Network, as usual, accelerating the consciousness of humanity. We appreciate that you were here with us today, and we hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful rest of the day.